International Women's Day, a global celebration of the economic, political and social achievements of women, took place for the first time on March 8, 1911. The seeds were planted in New York City. In 1908, a group of about 15,000 women representing the Socialist Party of America marched into New York City, demanding better working hours, pay and the right to vote. In accordance with a declaration by the Socialist Party of America, the first National Women's Day was observed across the United States on February 28. Women continued to celebrate National Women's Day on the last Sunday of February until 1913. In 1910, a second International Conference of Working Women was held in Copenhagen. A woman named Clara Zetkin, leader of the Women's Office for the Social Democratic Party in Germany, tabled the idea of an International Women's Day. She proposed that every year in every country there should be a celebration on the same day, a Women's Day, to press for their demands. The conference of over 100 women from 17 countries, representing unions, socialist parties, working women's clubs, and including the first 3 women elected to the Finnish parliament, greeted Zetkin's suggestion with unanimous approval, and thus International Women's Day was the result. In 1911, Austria, Denmark, Germany and Switzerland celebrated what's regarded as the first International Women's Day. Just as Zetkin's idea was spreading through Europe, Russia, where International Women's Day was established, was facing unrest for other reasons too. It was against the backdrop of a country exhausted by war, widespread food shortages and escalating popular protest that the nation's 1917 International Women's Day demonstration was held on February 23 of that year, the equivalent of March 8 in the Russian calendar, indicating the significance of the date of the commemorations today. Despite the initial directives from revolutionary leaders, the protests that began on March 8 grew to daily mass strikes of workers from all sectors demanding bread, better rights and the end to autocracy. A week later, the Tsar abdicated, signaling the downfall of the Russian Empire and paving the way for socialism and the formation of the Soviet Union in 1922. Russian women demanded, and gained, the right to vote in 1917 as a direct consequence of the March protests, and after more than 40,000 women and men again took to the streets demanding universal suffrage. This made Russia the first major power to enact suffrage legislation for women. It officially became a day of recognition by the United Nations in 1975. By 2014, it was celebrated in more than 100 countries, and had been made an official holiday in more than 25. And great improvements have been made. We do have female astronauts and prime ministers, schoolgirls are welcomed into university, women can work and have a family, women have real choices. And so each year the world inspires women and celebrates their achievements. A global web of rich and diverse local activity connects women from all around the world, ranging from political rallies, business conferences, government activities and networking events through to local women's craft markets, theatrical performances, fashion parades and more. Many global corporations actively support International Women's Day by running their own events and campaigns. For example, on March 8, search engine and media giant Google often changes its Google Doodle on its global search pages to honor International Women's Day. Year on year, International Women's Day certainly a powerful moment, increasing in status. So make a difference, think globally and act locally. Make every day International Women's Day. Do your bit to ensure that the future for girls is bright, equal, safe and rewarding. Happy International Women's Day and thank you for watching. See you on the next video.